Hi, it's Tim here, and I wanted to give you a quick update on how our call went yesterday. Yesterday's call was our first of a series of weekly Zoom calls that I'm conducting on the notion of future-proofing yourself, future-proofing your career. And it's based on following along this document that I've written and published called, let me see if I can get that in here, 7 Steps to Taking Control, Doing What You Love, and Being Valued in an Unpredictable, Unforgiving World, which I'm sure feels very, very close to home for most people right about now. And so yesterday's call was on the committing to spending 5% of your time to build your own platform. So that's what the headline step is, the first step of 7. So committing 5% of your time to building your own platform. So when we think about platform, this is kind of stealing a page from the notion of business platforms, and it's just kind of a nice way to think about that. You've basically got every human being has 100 programmable hours per week, more or less. And it is how we choose to spend that time, invest that time in moving ourselves forward in the future, for the future. So, you know, what are our dreams? What are our goals? What are our ambitions? What are we trying to become? And what are we doing actively on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis to make that happen? And just to explore that 100 hours, where that comes from is 7 days, 24 hours a day. That's 168 hours. Once you strip away, a good night's sleep, showering, cleaning, some personal hygiene, eating, you're basically left with this envelope, more or less, of 100 programmable hours. So you've got 100 hours every week, and you have to decide how much of that you're going to invest in doing proactive things to move you forward. That's really the notion of the platform of me, and the notion of, and what we recommend is that you need to spend at least 5% of your time on yourself, on developing your own platform, on developing your own business, thinking of yourself as a business, and actively spending that time on professional development. Now, that can be a whole bunch of different activities, so we're not prescriptive in what the activities are, but you should have a basic amount of time that you're willing to invest week in and week out on your own professional development. And even that 5%, if you think about the traditional idea of working for somebody, you're committing 40 hours a week, typically 40 to 50 hours a week, working for somebody else, essentially working on their platform. And most people spend 0% of their time working on their own platform. So that's the notion, is just take back some of that time, or at least allocate some of your time to building your own platform. And so the exercise that I gave people yesterday was thinking about it that way, 100 hours. How are you currently spending your time? And come up with some big categories of where you're investing your time. So maybe that one category is you're working for someone else, so there's 40 hours. Maybe there's a 10-hour commute, 2 hours a day back and forth. Maybe there's some family activities, what have you. So you can start to chunk it down into categories and start thinking about where you spend your time. And the interesting observation I think that most of us will discover is actually we have lots and lots of time. We just don't use it very productively to do the things that we say are important to us. So this is the taking charge of one's career, and this is the first step in the future-proofing process, is getting clear on where am I currently spending the time? Is that serving me to accomplish the things that are important to me? And if I don't yet have some clarity about what is important to me, then I need to start spending some portion of that time immediately to get clear about what I'm trying to accomplish, where I'm trying to go. That's the conversation that we had yesterday in our first Zoom call. There'll be another number of Zoom calls. As I say, they're every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join them, and you're welcome to join them, they're open to all the public. All you have to do is look for the link for this guide, the 7 Steps to Taking Control. This is the Career Future Proofing Guide. And and once you download that document, you will be automatically added to an email notification that will let you know when the Zoom calls are, and we'll send you the link to the Zoom calls. And then you can come and you can join us in our conversation. I am not recording those calls. I want those calls to be spontaneous. I want them to be real time, so I'm not recording them. I will do a little bit of a video like this after every call, just to sort of tell you what we covered and some of the discussion points that came up. But if you want to participate in that conversation, please come and participate in the conversation, and we'll all learn from each other. And that's the essence of what this series of calls is about, is let's start to get serious about taking those steps to future-proof ourselves for times of great disruption, which we are currently in. But also my contention is that this is going to continue, not necessarily this particular crisis, but we live in a highly disruptive age, and we all need to learn much better navigation skills and much better agility. We need to develop much better agility, and this is my attempt to help people do that. So please do join us. It would be a pleasure to see you, and I'd love to engage you in that conversation. In the meantime, stay safe, be good to each other, be kind. These are very, very challenging times, and we need to reach out and help each other in the best ways that we can. Thanks very much, and hope to see you next Thursday.